11 a.m. We will solidify the connections we share with Dominicans all over. Hop on board the city train and let's strengthen the ties that bind us. Connecting the dots as Radio DBS.
Heavenly Father, Creator of mankind and the universe, we thank Thee for the gift of life today and all the blessings You continue to bestow on Your children.
We seek Your presence and intervention throughout this program, and we ask that You keep us connected always.
We also pray for the success of the program, its coordinators and listeners, that they may find purpose and enjoy what we share.
Bless our radio station and the nation, and may we grow to love and unite with each other, irrespective of our differences.
All this we ask in Your name, now and forever. Amen.
So we start off every Saturday and I say good morning to you wherever you are. This time it is a pleasure to be on with you for yet another Saturday. Nigel, Francis and myself, we're here every Saturday, and of course we're always ready to start off connecting the dots. Ensuring that everything is ready for another edition of Connecting the Dots. Boots? I don't know. We'll try something. Welcome, folks. Welcome, family. Greetings to you wherever you are this time. It's a lovely Saturday in DA. We are ready to connect dots again. All the CTD family members have been reading the comments and I feel the bond. Connecting the dots, we come here every Saturday and strengthen the ties that bind us. Hope you had a good week. It's graduation time already. Graduation ceremony, graduation season for many students, particularly those abroad. While it's exam time for many here and in the Caribbean, we have CSEC, we have CAPE, we have tertiary level exams, school leaving exams, grade 5 national assessments, grade 6 national assessment coming up soon, and more. But we're not talking plenty this morning. Let me find out if Nigel is writing his thesis or his dissertation. Nigel? What? Nigel?
Hey, what's up?
I'm fine.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Technology was killing me for a little bit, but I'm here. I'm good.
I see
How
you
was
probably
everything?
fine. I see you probably writing your thesis or maybe your dissertation. How far are you, Nigel?
Well, I am about halfway because you're supposed to send me something. I'm not sure if you sent it already or you will be sending it, but
I will.
I'm waiting on that so I can continue on the thesis.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll look at
Yes.
So you didn't
We'll look at
understand
it.
all the questions, and
Well, I did.
I know you're good, so I have faith in you. Remember, I graduate if the dissertation fails.
See what?
You're gonna graduate if you fail. All right.
That's going to be an issue right there, which means that I can still have people write on my shit in the meantime, right?
And that topic of culture and heritage you're working on that. I will to the US, especially when you reach to the part of Obia and necromancy and all those kinds of things there. But anyway.
That's the section, that's the important section. Yes. Because it's an existing thing, and sometimes we wonder if it's really there or not. So we have to. That chapter has to be done very carefully, right?
Yes, I know you have dabbled in that a lot because you're students of history, students of culture, students of literature, and all of that. So theatre and more. So I know you can hold your own, man.
Yeah, we'll try something and see what happens. Mix it up and then try to create, remove fiction from fact.
Yes. Nigel, I have two big-time technicians there for me. By the way, Nigel, as I say technicians, didn't tell you not to forget him when you come in. I don't know if you come in. I suspect you tell me. You didn't tell me.
Didn't make sure you send me the specifications. I have something there, but I'm not sure that is what it's really supposed to be. So send me the specs.
Okay, all right. And you also,
right, so that part is taken care of.
Yes, I remember your nephew Fadul as well. What you had to bring for him, so don't forget. When you come in on the
No, I cannot forget. No, I can forget Joseph. Yes, I shall ensure that I bring that same thing for him.
Okay.
Yes, so Joseph send me the specs too.
Joseph Fadul sent Nigel the specs.
Yes,
earlier.
Yes. Bro, Fadul, remember to send me the specs as well, and Jane, don't forget. So I can make sure I take care of what's supposed to be taken care of.
Of course, no man, of course. So Nigel, we're not talking plenty this morning because we have a part 1 and we have a part 2.
We do.
The whole story on Delices.
Who?
When all the story on Delices.
Yes, we're going to get Delices from beginning to end and why they call it Delices. And if it's really Delices or Delices, you see, we'll hear what they say. And then we'll find out about that and all the various places you can visit and all the good stuff. Yes.
As you say,
Grand Rising Miguel Murphy. I mean, say good morning to Miguel Murphy. Very good, Grand Rising, my brother. Appreciate it as always.
You know, I've failed you for the past 3 Saturdays. I did not follow the assignments. I normally follow. So
that's not
attention
good.
for me. Attention for me.
That's not good. Well, it's 3. If it was 2, we could give you the merit.
By
But
3
3,
was 3.
that's 3 is the detention. 2 is the merit, but 3.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yes.
So now let's see who's on the book and then we bring on our guests.
Yes.
Anybody already?
Let's see what's up. Yes. Lauren Joseph, good morning to you. Says you're looking good, Fairy Papa. Okay, good morning, Bonjour. Bel Pancot. This is Bel Pancot. What is Pancot?
Pentecost.
Oh, Pentecost. You see, yes. Lauren, you get me on this one. Yes. Agnes good morning to you. Louisa Jaffe, of course, from the UK, always here very early. Says good afternoon from Bradford, UK. I want to say good morning to her brother Joe in Goodwill. Edwin in London, of course. Good morning, Ivona. Looking beautiful again today. Nigel and all your guests. Locked in from Houston, Texas. Vado, good morning to you. Yes, good morning. She says good morning to Ivona tonight. And the book is not working well. I'm hearing all you twice. very distorted. Do you know what's happening? That's what God will say. I don't know if it's so, but let me see. She said they're hearing us twice on the book. Let me see if it's true. But good morning to all of you who are logging on. I know Mr. Alvin Thomas is busy, probably taking the rest after a successful night of Island Classics for Atlanta Carnival. So we may not see him this morning. For those of you in Atlanta, continue enjoying the carnival. And of course, Renette Barron, good morning to you as well. Good to know that you're on. As daily speakers are starting to come on, eh? Good morning to them. Yes, they're starting to come on. So that's okay. Janet, now good morning to you. I know you were on very early this morning, so appreciate it. You were taking in some music from Fadul, some WCK++. Appreciate that. And on the YouTube, of course, good morning to you. Okay, so I think Norrin said there's a serious echo on the Facebook. Let me see if I can hear the echo. Okay, yes, so there is an echo, and it's coming in twice.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, okay, so I just did it myself. So Winnie Green, bonjour to you. Good morning to you, Winnie Green. Bonjour. Good call. You're hearing us twice. Don't cancel it in here.
Yes.
But Winnie Green, good morning to you. I think it's the same thing on YouTube as well. There's Facebook, the same. We are hearing you guys twice. All right, so that's from Renette Barron. Vado, take your time now. We're trying to fix the thing. You're telling me the echo is annoying. Yes,
imagine you hearing us twice, and we so like to talk already, and you have to hear that twice. That's annoying.
The first time you hear us the second time.
Yes.
But no, we're trying to get it sorted out. So good morning to all your friends. Good morning to everybody. We appreciate it. We're getting it sorted out, so you don't hear us twice. We only want you to hear us once. Those on the YouTube channel. Yeah, I think we're good now.
You sure?
Yes, we're good now.
Dean, we good, right? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Let me see.
Yes. Pauline Williams them says she think it's better now. So Dean, just double check, but I think we are okay now.
Okay.
Based on what you know.
Sure, Nigel? But I understand that you're echoing, I don't know if it's you not echoing now.
Well, let me see what happens.
I have producers at my home too. And I'm hearing that Nigel is echoing.
All right, so let me see if it's the same thing here on the YouTube here. You think it's better now? We are okay now. Yeah, I think we are right, I think we are right. Yes. By the way,
yes, we're okay. We're okay, yes.
Yes. Sulan, good morning to you.
Yes, technician number 2 come and tell me we're okay. So yeah,
we're good. All right. All right. So yes.
Yeah.
So Solange says, tell her Yvonne I love the look. All right. Yeah, I just tell her that.
Yes, thank you.
Of course, Renick Thomas, good morning to you. Wants to say good morning to the city, the family, and followers. Without a doubt, I must commend you both for your commitment and passion in hosting this program, rain or shine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Renick.
Sickness
we try to do that.
Sickness too sometimes.
In sickness too, yes. We make it happen.
Yeah, man.
Cedric,
if Nigel, sometimes Nigel, I can remember Nigel in Atlanta Carnival, anywhere, and we still make it happen.
Atlanta Carnival, we do it from there. Wherever we are, we try to make sure it happens.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's saying that the echo is gone now.
Okay, so let's bring them on.
Yes, Norrin has confirmed it's better. Louisia Jean-Pierre has confirmed it's better. All right, so our technicians were on duty. They fix that very quickly for us. Appreciate it.
Yes, okay.
All right.
So
we're ready to roll now. All is well.
All is well. So we're going to bring on our guest shortly, Nigel. When you heard over, you remember they used to call, I think Delices, they used to call the Delices over.
Yes, I remember over, Over. Yes, man. Over. Yes, over. So we'll find out about that. I wonder how they come up with that.
I know. We'll find out from Hey, Nigel, boy, Delices really mean business with Nigel. I have one document there. Yeah? No, boy. Yeah. I have to show that to all you.
Yes.
I will put it on the live in a while. What?
Okay. All right.
Properly, man. I'll put it on the live in a while.
All right. So we can see that.
Big documentary.
a big document.
I can
with the
send that
whole
for you,
reunion
man, for
thing.
part of your thesis. Because remember, this
Well,
is
I think
culture
you
and
should.
heritage.
I think you should send it up.
Yes, I'll set it up. But you come in, while I understand. So
But I come, yes.
we'll
You,
make
so
it.
you'll wait until I get there. All right.
All
So
right.
have a copy for me. So
Yes.
whatever they give to you. Now, guess, let me inform all you, because that thing only bringing things to iPhone and you're not leaving for me. That's not going to work very well.
Okay, Papa.
So going
Yes, sir,
forward,
Papa.
all of you who come into the studio to do
Whoosh.
anything and you're
Well,
bringing
look.
something for iPhone,
Whoosh.
please ensure you bring a second
Eh,
one
eh.
for me. She'll hold it for me, okay? Thank you.
Look, they showed me a second one. Look, they showed me a second one. But it's
Okay,
good to
so
talk.
that
It's
one
a
is for
good
me.
thing. You ask. Ask and you shall receive.
Okay. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
So it's
And
time to
going
bring them
forward, we
on.
shall ensure that happens from now on.
Yes, it's time to bring them on, Nigel.
Let's bring them on. Let's bring them on. Let's bring them on.
Yes. We also have a part 2 I will come up after.
Yes.
And I'm very happy that we can bring on Daily. It's a while, Delices has been asking me, so I'm very happy that we could bump up
We're
other
happy
people
we can
and
have
put
them
them
this
on.
time around.
Yes, so as I was saying, long ago I remember Delices was called Over, so I guess our guests will tell us if they heard this too. They are young, so I'm not sure. But I never really understood why, Nigel. But what I came to understand over the years is that this is Southeast, right? This Southeastern community has how I'd call it, it has a rich tapestry of history and connection. There's a bond in Delices. We have had people from Delices in the past on Connecting the Dots, obviously, So when we put together all what they have told us, I mean, that is just rich in terms of culture, in terms of family unity, in terms of long ago, what entailed in the community and things like that, but we're going to learn more. So it's time to welcome our guests. Nigel, welcome them now.
Yes, welcome to Connecting the Dots. We
Let me just
appreciate
put them
all
on.
of you who are going to be joining us, telling us a little bit about yourself, about the beautiful community of Delices, and what's going to be happening for the reunion that's being planned. So welcome to Connecting the Dots, and good morning, happy Saturday to all of you guys.
You
Two
seeing
in
them,
studio
Nigel?
and one somewhere else. Yes, I can see them.
One
now.
via Zoom and 2 in studio.
Yes. So good morning, and we will get the introductions. Should we go from left to right, right to left? Doesn't really matter.
Sure.
Sure. All right. So go ahead. Tell us who you are.
So good morning, DBS, good morning, Dominica. My name is Desrond James. I serve as the president of the Delices Reunion Committee, working towards the success of these activities, this reunion, carried for July 26th to August 4th. So we really putting things in order, and I was really happy to be on DBS Radio this morning to spread the news to the world and to Dominica.
All right, I like this.
Right. Desrond, appreciate that, man. He's going to share the connection throughout the rest of the world.
Indeed.
And next to you is who?
Good morning to the listening public of DBS Radio. My name is Cedric Hilaire. I am the Vice President of the Delices Reunion Committee 2026 from July 26 to August 4th. The place to be is in Delices. Come and discover your roots.
All right, that is it. Come and discover your roots.
Indeed.
Yes. All the roots that was there before and you forgot about it, or you're not sure. This is your chance to do it.
I think we have one via Zoom. Is he on? I'm not sure. Is he on?
Yeah, I think he's on,
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hi.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
How are you guys?
Hi. We are fine. Who are you?
All right. My name is Ian Hilaire, better known or well known as Polo. I am the PRO of the Delices Reunion Committee. I am based in Atlanta, Georgia. And we're happy to be here this morning to share some more information about the reunion, what we have in store. And, hopefully we could get more people from the diaspora to come down to Delices and to reach out to the Dominican public at home that Delices is not being got back like how they normally call it. All right, so we want to make that clear this morning, and hopefully we get everyone in Delices come July 26.
Okay, interesting.
All
Nigel,
right,
he say
so
he's
looking
based
for-
in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, he was in Island Classics last night. So
Okay.
it's good to see that he's here.
Tired
this morning.
man.
Yes, he still made it though. How was Island Classic? How was the jam?
It was good. It was good. It was good.
All right. I know Alvin and Trinidad and Tutti and all the rest putting everything together. So I know that must have been a wonderful time with Impulse Band, right?
Yep. And the good thing about it is, though, most of the events in Atlanta this weekend is gonna get rained out. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
pouring out there.
Okay.
Whoa. So at least this one was an inside venue thing. So
Indoor venue. Yeah.
indoor. So that was good. That was good. Well, we hope people, Dominicans are more rain gas. Go and party in the rain, Dominican. Yes,
But
but
it's a
Daily's
pleasure to have you.
reunion, man. But before we get to Daily's reunion, we have something to do with them, right? I wonder even if it's two, 3 minutes. We have something to, because they cannot just come there and tell us anything, and that's
Of
it,
course.
right?
No man, they have to tell
All
us.
right.
Yeah man, come on.
Yes,
Who
yes,
does
yes.
that?
We have to find out a little bit more about them, So,
Uh-huh.
Polo, Mr. Ian Hilaire, of course, you're from the community of Delices, but give us a little bit about what it was like for you growing up in Delices back then. What was it like?
Yeah.
Well, so I'm one of the 80s kids. Not too old, not too young. I was born in Dalis, actually born.
Mm.
My mom gave birth to me in Dalis in a small hamlet called Carib. For those of you
Harry.
who do not know, yeah, Dalis. We got 4 hamlets in Dalis. It's Dalis proper, Carib, Laroche, and Victoria. I was born in Carib, and in
So,
my
so,
10th
so,
grade,
so, 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 for those who might not know, is Carib just as you're coming into Dalis, or is it the
so
furthest point of Dalis? Is it middle?
Dalis,
Where's Carib?
Dalis proper is Dalis. So the whole community is called Dalis, and then we have Dalis proper. So Dalis proper is as you enter into Dalis, and then when you're going down towards the right river, the next hamlet is Carib, and then the following one after that is Laroche, and then you have Victoria, and closer towards the playing field and leading up to the White River.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good thing of Dalis. So yes, so what was it like
Yeah.
now growing up there?
So yeah, so growing up, we had I grew up with always this is always a agricultural village, right? And my grandparents were always into cassava production, bay oil production, and all this good stuff. And we had it was a must to be going to the garden to tie your animals and to help cultivate crops and with your grandparents, and that instilled a level of hard work into us growing up and all this good stuff. We stuck to the traditional games, playing the rondeurs, the marbles, the topi, and these are the things we used to do when we were growing up as kids, right? I attended the Fortuma Davis Primary School down at Fortuma, closer to the playing field, down that area. I wasn't old enough to attend the primary school. There was another location for a primary school in Dalis, but the guys that are a little older than I am attended school in that location. But in my time, I attended the newer school, which is the primary school right now. And the village, actually, we had a lot of people in the village then, in my time growing up. I mean, with migration and everything now, you find a little fewer persons in the village right now. But growing up in Dalis was really good, right? You country life at that time, that's where you want to be. Everything happens there, mangoes like crazy, oranges, grapefruits, you just living the life in the country. Some of the stuff has gone away. We have the internet kids now. We don't get kids too much outside playing traditional games like before, which is sad, but it's reality of life, as everything changes with time, modern technology start taking over. So everyone now plays games on their phones. No one plays the outside games. No one build trucks no more. And this is why we want to, during the reunion, this is something we're gonna mesh in with the reunion, or bring back this stuff. What we used to do back then in Dalis, what Dalis used to look like back then. How we still loving, right? If you were to ask me, I think Dalis are the most loving people on that in Dominica, right? And generous. You can't come Dalis and leave Dalis without your hand full. You must live with a plantain, a fig, a banana, cassava, toloma, we'll give you something to go with,
Something.
right? And that is the whole purpose of the reunion. People to come to Delices, and when you live in Delices, even if it's not something physical you get when you live in, but you're going to leave Delices with a lot of information. You're going to look at Delices differently after you leave Delices. You're gonna be like, wow, I spent all my life in Dominica and I never knew all this used to happen in Delices. That's the kind of image we want to have you created in your mind when you leave Delices come July 26th.
Nice,
Right.
nice.
What about you,
We
Cedric? Tell us about your growing up days in the community. Give us a sense of how it was when you were a little boy.
Well, growing up in the village of Delices, it has always been fun and happiness growing up as a little boy in the village. My dad was that individual with a lot of animals back in the days. And on a Saturday, he would say, "My son, let's go to the garden. Choose which goat of yours you want to kill."
What?
I would like,
No way.
"Daddy, this one I want." And then we would slaughter that goat, go home, have a feast, everybody pass. And then he would even do cattle and other animals too. And then that was the best person doing the black pudding in the village and the cow skin. And he passed on his trade to all of his kids. So we're excited about that. And he taught us something to share, to love, to give. And that is how the community is. We are a set of loving persons. And there's no way you come to the village and you're not going to get something. Somebody's not going to open up their house for you and welcome you in. And when you're living, as Ian said, you will go down with a bag of provisions. You will go down with some vegetables. You will go down with anything that the village have to offer. Those are the memories I remember.
Nice, nice. And Desrond, what about you now? I mean, did you find yourself running around as well, or were you
Of
more
course,
on
I
the
got-
tablets around that time?
I know the tablets came in the Gen Z right after my generation. So I came in a good time. Right after Ian and Cedric era, I came in, and then now we are the Gen Zs. But during my time, I did get a little bit of running up and down in the streets, playing cricket with coconut bats and making moule tops, as he had mentioned, all of that. Played in the road, jumping in the rain, even if our underpants with holes in it, paving in the drains when the rain are heavy, because this is a very scenic area, a lot of hills and valleys. So when the rain pours, you get rivers in the drains. So we used to bathe in those drains, So it was a fun time in my time. I enjoy it. So this is what we were trying to just do for this reunion, trying to just bring these memories back, and let us remember where we came from and where we're going.
Any one of you ever got a volley?
Of course, plenty volley, man. But thinking about it now, maybe the volley is what made us who we are today.
But you're gonna say thinking about it now, your skin burning you.
But my skin stopped with me. But we got volleys. The volleys were for a good cause.
My volleys were anything my mom had in her hand at the time. So if I did something and she was cooking and it's a cover of a pan she had, that's what I'm gonna get. She ironing and I did something, that's where I'm gonna get the iron. Whatever it is she had in her, that's what you get. And I really believe that actually made us who we are. I think it's that to the new kids now it will look like abuse, but I think that style of correction was definitely working for us.
Nice. Let us stay back in the day still, right, Nigel? We can say
Yes.
I want a
definitely so.
deeper sense of the community life. So I want you to name some names, and many of them may have passed. It is okay, because that gives us, probably more insights into the community. Like what the bus system. It wasn't bus. Well, yeah, bus in your days. What it was like, to commute from Delices to Roseau or to other areas. Some of the names you can remember, people who may have passed, but have made a significant contribution to the development of that community. So any one of you can start.
Yes.
Let us just start to bring out some names.
I'm a little older than they are, so I could maybe shed a little more light. I mean, we have a little more knowledge in that area than they are. The commuting from Delices to Roseau have always been a task, even today, right? And quite lengthy. We had this, if you remember, Singuela Blanc, the lawyer, her dad. Where the existing Delices Petit Savane Road is now. there was always a road to take you to Tong via that location, right? And he was one of the first set of people in the village to have vehicles, and all our grandparents used to work for him, and they would sometimes commute through that area to go to Tong, right? But then the existing road has always been there, but we were using trucks, a lot of trucks back then. The 2-ton trucks with the built with wood and everything, and you just sit in the back, and that's how we go to Tong, right? And we went to Tong, and I was fortunate enough as a little boy to rode one of them to Tong with my grandparents to sell fur on Saturday morning in the Mac. You leave home, you have to leave home at 3-4 o'clock in the morning to try to get to Tong early enough to secure a spot in the market and all this stuff. So it has always been a challenge. It has always been a challenge commuting to Tong to Roseau via from Delices via the Lapland area. We felt a sign of relief after the road, Delices 57 road, was actually opened and so forth. It made it much easier for us. Then it cut the time in basically more than half, right? You'd commute via 57, you'd get to Tong in 45 minutes, average, depends on your pace of driving. If you're a fast driver, it might be less, but anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour. You pass the longer route, it's going to take you over an hour, give and take. Whether you drive fast or not, it's going to be over an hour, right? So commuting to Tong, we had guys like Julius, Augustine with trucks. We had guys like a guy Tolly, Edward Joseph with trucks. And so many other guys in the village that did the transportation thing earlier in the days growing up, right?
I could just imagine the journey and all what had to happen between Delices and Roseau, all the different stops you may have to make. Up probably doesn't no stop. We go in, we gone. When you reach, you'll do what you have to do,
And Nigel, remember, you were not fortunate to have asphalt roads back then,
Right.
So before you reach everything inside, you already shake up,
And then you have to do the same journey back home again.
Yep.
Later in the afternoon.
Very same journey back home,
I know. What about? Because I know in those communities you always have a teacher this or a policeman down there.
Yes.
Yes, a nurse so and so.
Yeah.
What about that, Desrond and Cedric? You remember any of those?
So in the village, we had the first teacher from our village. This is Albert Williams. That was the first teacher who came out from Delices. And also, I can share that same sentiment. And he joined the police force. So that was the first police officer from our community who joined the police officer. But he passed away, and then his legacy continues.
Indeed. Interesting. What about the common last names in the community?
What about nurses? Any nurses? Many midwife? You had maybe people who doing midwifery, even if they were not officially the midwife, but they had to deliver the babies anyway.
Yes.
We had some big names, and we still some of them are still alive, and kudos to them. They really played a big pivotal role in Delices. Nurse Daisy, Nurse Marie. These were two of the nurses in my time. You could call on them anytime. They lived in the village. You drive to their homes. If something happened, they would take care of you right on their doorstep and all this stuff. We had teachers like Teacher Helen, deceased, may she rest in peace. Teacher Seraphine, Teacher Mary, may she rest in peace. Teacher Baby. We had a lot of Teacher Cece. These teachers are teachers that actually molded us, right? From preschool, Teacher Gertrude. This is one of maybe the longest serving preschool teacher I've ever known.
Yes.
She taught persons before me, and she still taught people after Desrond and them. So
Wow.
she held on the preschool. All the ABCs we know is because of her. She held it down, right? And
teacher, who was her name? Teacher what?
Gertrude.
Teacher Gertrude. Okay.
Yeah, she held it down, and kudos to and again, that's where we try to blend all these things into the reunion, right? Appreciate who actually made us who we are, who help us shape Delices.
I like that.
Yeah,
like that.
so we blend, we meshing everything together, and recognizing who deserve recognitions, and all this good stuff.
Yeah, but so before we go there, just give me some of the common last names in Dailies. Obviously, Hilaire is one, right? And you two are
Ilya is not
related.
common.
Is that common?
Ilya is not too.
Too
Ilya is
common?
not too common. No, I think
Okay.
it's maybe one family that have Ilya in
Ah,
Delhi.
okay.
But you have a lot of Joseph, you have a lot of James, you have a lot of Simons, you have
Augustine,
Augustins,
Augustines,
the Larons,
Etiennes, what else?
the
Larons.
Yep, yep.
Have I missed anything, Desrond?
Not, I think we capture it all, you know.
Okay.
The Etiennes are
Capture
there.
it all.
Also,
Williams,
the
yeah,
Etiennes are also very
yeah.
common. Etiennes,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Nice,
Yes,
nice. By the way, Mr. Ambrose Thomas, you late, but I'll still tell you. What is the topic for today? You're late and you want to ask the topic. But good morning to you. We appreciate you joining, connecting with us as you always do. Of course, you're looking at the Delices reunion. You know what? Is it Delices or Delices?
It is Delices.
Delices.
I was about
Delices.
to stop
Okay.
you, Nigel, but
So
you
where
know.
that Delices come out from?
I think it's a French. It's. I think how it's. Is it French? It's
Yes,
a French
it
name. How
came.
it's
It
written in
was.
French?
It came from the early French settlers.
yes.
Followed the name Delight. So that came from the name of the word delight because of the scenic positioning over the Atlantic Ocean. So they give it that name, Delices, and that's what makes us special, you know.
So,
I like that.
Nigel,
Yes.
I believe let me maybe shed some light on that S you just the daily season story, right? You know, you know, a lot of people was they say an S at the end of something they do it's plural, right?
Right.
So they just that's how most people, a lot of people actually pronounce it because of the S in the end. So they'll say Delices, you know, but it's actually Delis.
Delis, yes.
Yes, it is Delices. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
And by the way, I think Rennet Baron says the Sorrento is also very popular.
Yes,
name.
Yes, surrenders, surrenders,
In
yes,
Delices
yes,
as well,
for sure.
surrenders.
it is.
And let's see. We mentioned Williams already. Yes,
Barons
we already
also there.
mentioned Williams.
Look, on the live as well, Nigel, Ivadne Lawrence is saying her father is from Dailies. This is Rupert Lawrence. He was a shoemaker in Roseau. So,
All right,
that's it.
okay, Vado. So you're claiming Dailies this morning. That's okay. Carl
What's up?
Kofi James also said that's his roots as well. Uzeb is also a very popular name there. Alicia Charles, good morning to you. You are late, yes. Verna St. Louis, I know. She says she's missing me in Atlanta Carnival. Me too. But good morning to you. And let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Olivia Peters says she's watching, guys. Good morning. Tell them about it, cuz that was a long route. And that's Rocks Farm Organic Drinks. I guess that must be from Dailies as well. But Dailies people are locked in, so we appreciate that. And of course, we are talking about the Dailies reunion just in case. We have Desrond, Cedric, and Ian here with us. Cedric and Ian are related. Desrond is outside. He's just joining in. Desrond,
Yes, sir.
you knew Cedric before the reunion? You
Of
knew Ian
course.
before the reunion?
Of course, Cedric and I go way back, man. I mean, we've been part of the Dailies cultural group for some time now. You know, if you look back on those videos way back in 2014, 2013, those days there we are, you know, and flirtation there, we are best known for flirtation.
Wow, that's good.
Yes, I remember you had a special movie
Yes,
to do
man.
and
When I
with the
just, you know,
flotation.
everybody-
When it's done, Cedric start to guiji for you, you have to give way, you know. I mean,
Wow, that's good. That's
yes,
good.
man. So we're trying to, we'll be performing at the
Is that going to be
Wow.
part of the reunion?
Yeah,
activity?
definitely, definitely.
Yeah, it should be. It should
Yes,
be.
that's shining my shoes already, so
Wow.
look out for it, man.
What about the flirtation that you just particularly love, Desrond?
I just love the ambience and the groove, you know. You have your partner and he just floats in, man. Like you say, it's flirtation, so you just feel like you're floating around, and it's just a lovely dance, you know. We also love the quadrille, but to me it's always a bit too long.
Okay.
And you tend to forget a few steps sometimes, but the flirtation is short, simple, to the point, and it's a lovely performance.
Yes,
you know.
and you're floating if your partner is
Very well.
moving.
Okay.
Yes.
So now let's get to the meat of the matter.
Indeed.
Yes.
We can go there. Delices Reunion 2026. What brought on the idea? Tell us about the planning stages. You know, who came up with the idea? What you have done thus far, and what can we expect?
Okay, before we proceed, we should introduce the team behind this
Yes.
reunion 2026. We have Desrond James, the president, of course. Cedric, Hilaire, the vice. Dale Theophile, the treasurer. Gloria Simon Joseph, the secretary. Joy Augustine, the treasurer secretary. Kenisha Williams, the events coordinator. Ian Hilaire, the PRO. Simran James, special projects, and Brent Benjamin, the overseas liaison.
All right.
That's a good team. That team. How did that team come about? As everyone was saying, what sparked this reunion? What happened?
Yeah.
So back in
Okay, Desrond, go ahead.
yeah, so last year, I mean, the reunion I think it tried to happen a few years ago, but you know, with planning and getting people to come together and to form a strong team, it sometimes comes with its challenges. But last year around this time, I got a WhatsApp on my phone. I was like, okay. Brent Benjamin calls me and tells me, bro, we have to make it happen, you know, for the people. We've been trying to do this reunion for a long time, and this time it has to happen, you know. So I say, well, it was a no-brainer for me because I love Delices. I love being part of what's happening in Delices. So it was a no-brainer. I just said yes. Next day, boom, we had a meeting. We appoint the executive team, and then we move forward with planning. So maybe Ian will have some more to shed light on it because he and Brent would have been in communication, you know, how to get this together because they were part of the previous team trying to pull this reunion together.
Yes, Ian, this is a huge undertaking. Tell us about the challenges
Yeah,
that you face.
so we actually tried in the past, right? We did not get that far, but for the initial stages, stage of it, pushbacks and all this extra stuff. So some people drop out, and so Brent and I, Brent lives in California, from Delices. We always decided we are going to do this, right? So I started seeing every village doing reunion, and I'm like, village that are smaller than us having reunion. Why can't we have a reunion, right? And I'm saying this. So I posted something on Facebook, and so I said, so everyone is having a reunion except Delices. So people who knew, a lot of people know me because I do events, right? I do events, I do stuff, and so I'm very good at executing things of that sort. So people started commenting on that. Why don't you form a committee and you guys do a thing? And I gave it some thought, and then I called Brent and I said, "Hey, we're gonna do this time." So we sat and we handpicked who we're gonna need to pull this through. So everyone you see on that committee is because they were handpicked, right? We created a group chat, and then we started communicating, and we choose our committee, and we hit the ground running from there, and we have not stopped, right? It's been over a year. Let me tell you, we spent some long hours on this phone. We call 2 times a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. Some of these guys have kids. Some of them have to do homework, and they sacrifice their time and their effort to come on these calls and to put things in place, right? So that we are very grateful for. There are a lot of other persons who were very instrumental in coming on board with ideas and all this extra stuff. So yes, it's been a huge undertaking, and I must say we've came a long way, and we are near the end, and we're definitely gonna finish strong.
Nice, I like that, and I can imagine all the planning that had to go to ensure this is going to happen. So we're going to find out, like, what are some of the activities that's going to happen there. Good morning to you. Yes, Dr. P. James says listening. Del James says they're listening as well.
There are plenty of people from Delices on, man, Nigel. What?
What's that?
Delices, a lot of Delices people on, man.
Yes. Delices has taken over this morning. Masula Williams says Delices to the top. Dale Theophile, nice to see you, Del. So it's Delices time. We're not saying anything. Delices reunion also says something as well. Great job selling the community and the reunion.
That's it.
Val Gis wants to say, don't forget the Gis family as well from Delices.
And the galleries.
Carrie
I'm seeing the
and
galleries
Bear.
as well from somebody.
The gallery as well. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Of course, Miss Josephine Johnwis, good morning to you. Sadifa Chelsea, my dad was from Laron. Everybody claiming Delices this morning. Their father from there.
Yes.
Suddenly, all of them claiming
I
Delices
like
now.
what Dale James is saying as well. He's saying that our young men are taking the lead.
Indeed.
Yes,
Indeed.
yes. And I mean, it's interesting because we've had some other, folks who've been doing reunions, and we notice the younger generation, put it that way, seem to be the ones leading, especially the young men, and we applaud that. That the young ones are taking the lead and making it happen, and to blend it with the older ones, or the previous ones. So that's
Nigel,
wonderful.
Dale James is also saying, couldn't miss this one for the world. My bags are already packed. Yes, sir.
All right. So the bags are already packed. It's July 26th, you said, to August 4 something. What's it again?
That's correct.
Yeah, July
That's
20.
correct.
I got it right?
That's
July
correct.
26th to August 4.
Okay.
All right.
But Carlton,
so
I'm saying,
go ahead.
no, I was just getting a message from a Carlton that I'm saying, Carlton, I have to respond to Carlton. So Nigel, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, respond to him. Yes. Julie Joe, good morning to you. There's Lapin people on board too, okay? Oh, so you have Lapin people on it. Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys, and I also told that to the Monjon reunion committee as well. And I told it to the Lapin one, I'm going to tell it to the Delices one. What a wonderful thing it would be if we could have a Southeast reunion.
Yes. At least
And that
a few years
weekend,
from
you
now.
would have Friday will be Monjon, Saturday will be
Yes.
Delices, Sunday will be Lapin.
Poetical,
Beautiful
this
weekend of just Southeast reunion. Think about it for next year. Okay.
If
That's
not
just
next
my
year, at
idea
least
to
2
you
years
guys.
from now. Because this one is huge.
Those ideas just pop up. But I think it would be an excellent thing to have a
It would be
Southeast
massive.
reunion.
It would be
Yes.
massive.
Share
But
it
Cedric,
amongst
probably Nigel can bring us,
communities.
can give us an insight as to some of the activities that are planned.
Yes,
for this
yes.
grand
What
event,
are some of the things
Cedric?
planned for the reunion?
So we have quite a bit of activities that are listed out for the reunion 2026. Heritage Day. We have a Heritage Day. We have a History Night. We have an Oldie Goldie dance. We have a Juve. And I will share with my colleague to give the rest.
Yeah, so we try to cater for everybody from all walks of life. So we're kicking off on the 26th of July with the interdenominational church service.
Good way to start.
So we start to blessing the community, welcome the diaspora. We kick off with that day. In the evening, we're going to move on to the cultural gala. Where we merge, kind of give people a sense of what they used to partake in back in the day of those nice dances. Me, I want to do that flotation dance. So look out for me, look out for me.
You have more strokes now. Right.
Maybe I need to oil up. I have to do some oiling up and thing, but that's small. So the next day we move into the community walkthrough. We want to go for every hamlet, visit the elderly. Bring them a few donations, some supplies. We get a few donations from the diaspora. A lot of assistance there too. So when they come, we have some supplies to bring to the elderly. We have our walks to the Victoria Falls, the hike to the Victoria Falls. This is known for that. The famous Victoria Falls, the second tallest in Dominica, I believe. It was named after Queen Victoria, so it's very special to us. Also, we're moving into the reggae and karaoke nights, because we have a lot of artists in Delices, and people love to sing and enjoy themselves. So we're trying to do it in the streets, by the roadside, in the hamlets, making a community engagement, We have the local factory tours, going to the Bailey factory, the Toloma factory, So you could see the process of Toloma is processed, how it's made. We also have some manufacturers who take it to the supermarkets in Roseau, like Fresh Market Smart. So we want to do that also. We have the Community Day of Service, where all the diaspora, the community people come together and do a project that will be there beyond the reunion, something good to remember, like we did this during Reunion 26, and it will be there as a monument moving forward. We also have a Wellness Day, working in the Ministry of Health, to have free health checks and so on. We're working on that for a Wellness Day. We have bonfire, game night, how it used to be back in the day.
You all thought of a lot of people. What?
Yes, we want to make it special because
yes.
it's the first in my lifetime at least. I think there was one back in 1980 or sometime, but
88.
this is the first 88. So that's the first reunion in my lifetime. So it's gonna be special. We want to make it special, you know. We also have Market Day to acknowledge the farmers, because Delices, is a fruit basket of Dominica. Like Ian mentioned earlier, you cannot come to Delices and not go back with some provision, at least a cocoa ban and the cocoa dashing. You have to go back with something, Then the final weekend of the reunion, we have staged events, like we have a Bouillon Nights, represent first serenade coming on body first, to give us some old school, that kind of vibes. We have the Zouk and Copa, we have some entertainment on the weekend, and a massive sports day on this Sunday, right? And on the August Monday, we move to the White River and embrace that area, where we have a free up one pot, everybody come together, cook the food, and have a good time, And on the final day of the reunion, we want to do an island tour. We go around the island on our vehicles, and we just make pit stops every community as far as we can go. And then really and truly, that's what we're looking to get done for this reunion time,
Packed program, Nigel.
Nice.
Indeed.
Very packed program, and of course I know a man like Rasmo, if he was around, would have been part of that. Rest in peace,
Rest in
Rasmo.
peace.
Yes, definitely.
And definitely Rasmo from that community as well. So rest in peace, my brother. A lot of activities, and do you have like different committees or different people heading those little committees to organize different things? Because it's a lot to put all this together. Yes,
that is correct.
Yes, we do. So we have every member of the committee is responsible for a certain parts of the whole organization. I think Desrond handle the grounds and all this extra stuff. We got somebody handling
right.
I'm gonna be handling the song and all this extra stuff.
Okay.
Cedric, I can recall what you are doing.
So
Cedric handling everything.
Everything, yeah, you got it. So everyone is charged with a responsibility, and then under everyone's responsibility, we organize subcommittees, right? Because you really can't do everything. So we have other persons that we opened it up to the public, and people volunteered, and so we have quite a few subcommittees helping us out for the process, right?
Yeah. Boy, Nigel. Sorry to cut you off, but I just looking at the live there. You'll continue in a short while. Boy, Nigel, they on way. Boy, they on.
They on.
No, when Ian
trying not
finishes,
to read everything because it's difficult to go through everybody, but they on. They on. Daisy James talking about the birth of her twins. That was reunion 88. Yeah, the birth of her twins. Daisy is your mom, Desrond?
Yes, that's my mom, Nurse Daisy. That's Nurse Daisy to be correct. That's the famous Nurse Daisy to be correct. Yes.
Nurse Daisy. That is your Nurse Daisy. Yes. Julie Joe says we should include a cardio jam on Wellness Day. Booyah Fitness Jam.
All that's in there for you.
Yes, she said you can contact her because she's a fitness instructor and she's willing to participate and be part of it. So contact Julie Joe. All right, Julie Joe, you see I send your thing out for you. Masula Williams, I can't wait. This event is going to be super amazing. Everyone from Delices all over the world should be there. Oh boy. Let's see. Ambitious Joy Augustine says you can't afford to miss Delices. Delices out today.
Yes, we're telling you, Nigel.
Yes, they out.
So in the reunion, we have 2 paid events which people will attend. And we're not going to put the surprise out there, but I have to say it, that our paid packages to the VIP, it's going to be named after our Victoria Falls, our White River. The highest one would be the Victoria Fall packages. Then we have the White River, then we have Kuson, we have Dedon. And it's just going to be an awesome time. When you purchase that package online, you're not going to regret it.
Hey, you say Kuso.
How can they purchase it online? Is there a website they go to?
So we have an official website for the Delices reunion, right? Where you could go in, and we still adding stuff, photos and all, but in terms of contributions and other stuff for the reunion, you can go on there and actually just go and take a look.
What's the site? What is it? Is it DelicesReunion.com?
DelisReunion.com and Delis with the S, obviously, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
Yes. But Cedric was saying about Kuso and Dedo. Name some hamlets in Delis for us.
So the hamlets we have in Delis, we have Delis proper, we have Carib, we have Victoria, and we have La Roche. Now the sites I spoke about, those are places our 4 or 5 or 6 or 10th grandfather or parents will go into source water from. So those still exist, and if you're living in the diaspora and you come down, we're gonna have a walkthrough to go here to get water from the source.
From Kuso. So places like Kuso and Dedo, you'll get water
And
there.
Sus.
Yes.
Sus. In back road
Yes.
La Roche, there's Sus. Fresh water, cool water, man. I remember when they 11 o'clock at night. And boss, when I enter that, I feel awake, you know. I wake up
You feel
myself.
refreshed and ready to go. That's like an energizer.
Yes, man.
Yes, so because back in the day, we never depended. We in the community never depended on the WASCO, right? We had our own means and ways of getting our water. So there's pretty much one in every hamlet except Victoria, but they think they share La Roche. They share one with La Roche, but Carib got 2. Delis and Carib also shares one, share one, and then Delis got one. We we just take our buckets and just run down the track and follow, and it's soil filtered water, so it comes straight from the rock and into your bucket. It's only one of them where we actually we created a dam. No, not we, but they created a dam, and the water, collects the water and spit out. But everything else is straight from the soil.
Okay, wow, that's so interesting.
That's good. And I'm guessing people will be able to visit those, like you say.
Oh yes,
Especially those in the
Definitely.
diaspora who may not have remembered those or seen those for a while.
Nigel, I was
Go
just
ahead.
reading a comment from, was it Valdegist? Nigel, see if you can get it because I lost it,
Valdegist. Okay, Valdegist.
Didn't mention our
guys,
biggest icons. I'm trying to get it.
please remember to mention one of our greatest icons, Jehu Etienne, who built many government buildings in Dominica.
Indeed.
So that's Etienne. Is it did I say the name right? Is it Jehu?
GU, yes.
Jehu. Okay.
I think GU also took Ian under his belt at some point.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I worked with him. In my little college construction knowledge I have, it's because of him. Right.
Right. Nice.
And we can't have a lot. There are a lot of persons in the village. You can't have that reunion without giving them recognition. Right?
Yes. So is there going to be a night where you have like
we're gonna have history night? We're gonna have award giving. We're gonna
okay.
All right.
Maybe
we don't have all day on here. I could sit there and start calling names from the village, and all tomorrow at that time we'll
In
still
fact,
be here,
as I was telling Cedric and Desrond before we started the program, closer to the event, we'll see if we can, squeeze you in again to, tell us, what's up, maybe a few weeks ahead of the event. But Nigel, I'm looking at another comment there from, what is that, Princess, Nistati? I'm not sure if you've seen Nigel, but she said, the island tour would also be a great opportunity to link up with the people who share the same surnames, so many unknown relatives could be found. Anne Augustine from Itasi. Interesting.
Nice.
And I was and because there's an island tour, right? There's you'll be going on through the various communities.
Yes.
So just imagine this, Nigel, and you're calling neighbor, you don't want things like that. This is the essence, of cultural heritage. That is reunion.
That is it.
Yes.
That is it.
Yes.
I love this.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Nigel, we want to make it clear to the listeners and the persons who have contributed so far towards this reunion. 100% of any monies made during this reunion is going to go to Delis community and Delis community. Everything is going to be spent in Delis, right?
Nice.
We have House of Hope in Delis, which we're going to be paying very close attention to.
I'll give you a clap for this.
The primary school and education and all this stuff, we're going to pay very close attention to, and the elderly, right? So it's not just a one-time reunion thing and done. The hardest part of it is to create the committee and get everything going, and that we have done. We're just waiting to actually execute, which I have no doubt, But outside of that, after that reunion committee is going to be like a non-profit doing stuff for the community, right?
So it's not just a reunion now when you end there.
Yes.
It will be it will have long-lasting impact for the community.
Indeed.
Long-lasting impact.
Yeah.
So
By the
it's
way,
not just
Avanel George is saying former Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Hesketh Alexander.
May he rest in peace. Yes.
I mean, we really, and it's not, and no disrespect, no, we don't want to. It's not like we forget anybody.
No. But some
that's
people
why we
remember
try
some
not
names,
to
and that's
start
good.
mentioning names because when you start, sometimes
you always forget some.
Yeah.
Miss out.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always going to be
Yes.
so. Yeah.
The fact that people are also
but-
on the
but
live remembering names. Yeah, we like this.
Yeah, but
really like this.
honestly, there are a lot of people in the village that, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There are a lot of people in the village, some living, some deceased, that played a pivotal role in Delices and the people in Delices and what Delices is today,
Great.
right? Thomas Etienne and them, Hesketh Alexander and all these guys, and if I just again,
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to mention all the names, but it's
Yes,
good that
but
it's
it's a
people are
lot.
also mentioning
Yes,
names. You're mentioning names.
Betsy
What-
Gis, one of our first firemen. This man actually was one of the key guys in the village, and he also did transportation, but he was a fireman and he serviced the southeast. And all you had to do is call this man, and this man would just you hospital, or and this man served Delices, and he served Delices up until the day he died.
I know DBS in
so
particular, we had a very close connection with Delices, especially back in the day, way back when radio was really king. And so there was no social media at that time, and people had to listen to the radio no matter what, so long ago. And even on days like National Day of Community Service, so when we'd go up to places, we would be coming down for a lot of food, Nigel. The reporters would come down for a lot of food. I mean, the hospitality was just something else. When you were reaching that community, you were just well taken care of. And I'll always
that's the only
remember
radio.
that.
That's the only radio station we knew.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so we coming to an end. We have a part 2, but let us just go.
Yes. Karina
over.
Hilaire, good morning to you too. She says, great job, guys. Karina Hilaire.
Yes,
Can't
yes.
wait for the event. So yeah, like we mentioned, I know we have a part 2 coming up for connecting this morning. But we want to wish you guys all the best, man, on the reunion. Keep us informed what's going on. Keep the connection. So for those who want to know, they can go on dailyreunion.com. There's a website there. I guess there's some
Facebook.
phone numbers they can call, the
Facebook
committee
page.
members they can get in touch with.
The Facebook page also has a
Our
lot of
Facebook
information.
page.
There's a Facebook page as well. You can go there and see everything happening from July 26th to August the 4th, you said, or the 5th?
Yes,
The
yes,
4th.
August 4th.
correct.
August 4th. From July 26th to August 4th. The only place you gotta be is Delices.
Yes.
All right, so all of you who are out in the diaspora, make sure you get your packages. You have Victoria package, you have White River package, you have Kisaga, Cedric, you have
Coulson, Dieda.
Coulson, and all
Yes,
these kind
yes,
of packages.
You all have shirts as well, like
Yes,
reunion
yes.
t-shirts.
We are going to have a large variety of t-shirts on the website for sale.
Okay.
So you'd go on the website, you'd purchase whatever color you want. We're gonna let you know what colors we have available, and then you purchase, and then you get your shirt delivered to you.
I like that. Because
Yes.
if for some reason someone overseas from Delices cannot come down for the reunion, at least they can purchase a shirt. They can
Right.
have
To
some
get to them,
memorabilia.
yes.
Right.
So we're working.
Yes.
We're working with 767 events on that venture to get our stuff.
But
on.
only think of everything, man.
Of course.
What?
Well,
Yeah,
the team is
yeah,
very
yeah, but-
vibrant.
I like
Yeah,
that.
but-
Well planned, well planned.
Talking
And
about that,
before-
there's a lady.
before we
Just,
go-
go ahead. I'll mention it after.
Before we go, we just want to say thank you to all the sponsors who have came on board so far and contributing to this reunion one way or the other.
Of course.
We will officially put out the sponsor list and say thank you. Mention name by name. I don't want to go ahead and start calling names right now and then I forget people, and I don't want to do that. But I want to say, if the sponsors or anybody that contributed towards the reunion so far and you're listening, I want to say thank you very much to you. Please ask other persons, from Delices that that has not contributed, please let them know that it's still available for them to do that.
Yeah.
The GoFundMe
It
is
doesn't
running.
have to be final. It doesn't have to be cash. If you can contribute with your service, we welcome in that as well.
I like that.
And that's it. And thank you guys to DBS for allowing us to use your platform this morning. We really appreciate that.
Well, we
That's
appreciate
what we
it
do.
as
We
well.
connect. We
Because
connect.
this
Yeah,
aligns
yeah,
with
yeah,
our
yeah.
agenda. Eh?
Indeed,
This
indeed.
is
Yeah.
it. And whilst you're saying thanks, I also want to thank Avanel George. She works at DBS Radio, and she ensured that we made this happen. And there's this other lady, I just can't recall her name, but she has been sending me the
Avanel from
messages.
Delices too?
Yes.
Yes.
Ken Oaks, so is it? There's a Ken Oaks or
Okay.
Ken
Kenisha.
Oaks?
Good morning,
Kenisha
Avanel. I didn't know
Williams.
you from
Okay.
Delices.
Kenisha Williams.
Kenisha, okay.
Yeah, she's part of she's there on the
on the
events.
committee. Yes. Boy, I tell you, she's really committed to this. I mean, with the messages, ensuring that everything is going okay. In that aspect, you all coming and connecting the dots. So let me say a big thanks to her as well. But I'm sure we'll bring you all back. We'll have another part with you all just before, of course, as I said, the event itself.
Okay, in closing,
Thank you.
before
We appreciate that.
Go ahead.
Before we leave, let me take this opportunity to say a special thank you to DBS Radio, you, Ivona, and your guests. We appreciate it. We are doing it for Delices, and it's our community. And we just want to ensure that everybody out there in the diaspora can come back home and enjoy what we put together for them. Because
You have place for people when they come now?
yes, we do have space,
And
and we should say if we don't have enough space, Rosalie Bay is on board with us, so they can of course go to Rosalie Bay.
You get a 33% discount at Rosalie Bay.
That's a good collab.
Yes.
I like
Nice.
this.
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
And also you could do Airbnb in the Lapland area.
Okay.
Last but not least, it's a reunion. We going back. Walk with your airbag. You can sleep. You don't have to. It's all about sleeping fancy. You walk with an airbag.
Of course, the man.
Yes,
I like
connecting
that.
the roots.
Yes. It's not about sleeping fancy for that week. It's about being present and being engaged in the activities.
Yes.
And so it's not all about the fete and the party, but it's really about looking where we came from as a community, because as we move forward, technology comes into place and we tend to lose our tracks, so we try to make the reunion in a way that it helps us get back on track,
Right.
help us remember our history, where we came from and where we're going, because without
Definitely.
that we don't know who we are.
Well, thanks,
So-
guys.
Indeed.
We're looking out for the flotation and other,
Yes,
big
yes.
things happening in Dailies.
Big up to Miss Daru one time on the cultural aspect of it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
yes, I want to thank you.
All right,
very much.
guys.
Yes.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Nigel.
Go enjoy the rest of Atlanta Carnival Polo.
Yes, man.
So Nigel, you go ahead, Nigel, and let's make another thing happen. So I know you can talk. So talk still, Nigel.
Yeah. Oh, I should try to get the other thing organized. So yes, definitely. Again, continue. Thank you guys for connecting the dots this morning. Just had the Delices reunion committee letting us know about Delices reunion that's coming up July 26th to August 4th. You can go onto the website, delisreunion.com, or you can check their Facebook page. We have other reunions coming up. There's lots of reunions coming up in Dominica. I know that there's the Monjon Rivier Syrup one that's coming up July 3rd to July 12th, thereabouts. So we'll have them as well. And all the other reunions that's going to be taking place. That's a way for Dominicans to reconnect, by the way. And it's a beautiful thing that we can do when we have those reunions, is connecting those who are outside of Dominica with those who live in Dominica, but also connecting those who are in Dominica themselves, because everybody have their own stuff doing and everybody's busy and, living their own lives. So it's nice when you can reconnect with your people, whether it's inside Dominica or whether it's outside of Dominica. So we appreciate that. So to all those who are planning reunions, let us know so we can connect with you and you can connect to the people. This is Connecting the Dots. We do this every Saturday. Ivona and myself, we're getting ready for part 2. We're going to be speaking to Gloria, Septra, Augustus, and Sabrina, I think it is, as we look at the question of, children's safety and abuse and everything else that's going on. We want to make sure we can keep the spotlight on that. Those of you in Granby, by the way, happy Fête Isidore, as well as in Saint-Sauveur, and I know Warner had something as well for their village feast. So those of you in Granby getting ready for Fête Isidore. Hey, Marlon, good morning. You've been causing trouble, but good trouble, by the way. Good morning to you. as we get ready for Fete Isidore in Granby this weekend. Don't forget to go give thanks on the Sunday, and I think Monday has lots of activities.
Not only in Granby,
Fete Isidore.
Nigeria, Saint-Sauveur too is
Saint-Sauveur
having,
as well. All right.
Yes,
Saint-Sauveur, the
I think
fishing
there's
community,
another
also has
community,
lots
yeah.
of stuff for the Fete Isidore as well. So it's a long weekend in Dominica. So if you're in Dominica, enjoy it.
Yes.
I hope the weather is good though. Is it good weather there? Is it raining? Is it, I don't know, but whatever it is, I hope
rain,
that
but nothing.
little thing, nothing to keep you away. So that's good.
You know,
that's good. So go and enjoy it. You know,
All
getting
right.
ready for part 2.
Part 2,
All
Nigel.
right.
But one guest is on. Well, there are 2 on the flyer, but one could not make it. But you know, so we have one. Yes,
we know going to put you next time, whoever you are.
we have one. But we are the Met Parley, so we are okay. We are okay.
We are the main.
Okay,
we are okay. So in that case, she will take care of both of the. She'll take care of the absent guests.
Sure. Yes.
All right. No worries.
Yes,
in that.
Nigel.
No worries in that. We appreciate that. Hey, Miguel Murphy. Glad you were able to enjoy Island Classic and enjoying Atlanta Carnival. It's always good to do a little free up now and then. So morning to you.
Yeah.
And to all the other Delices Reunion people, yes, good morning, Matthew Joseph on the YouTube. Good morning. We're getting ready for part 2, right?
Yes, part 2, Nigel. By the way, just quickly, Nigel, just quickly, I mentioned that Carl Kofi James had sent us something we want to be using, and I did not convert it, so it may not be. I cannot hear it today. It's very short though, just a few seconds. But it just gave me an idea. So when we meet in Chambers, Nigel, we can discuss this.
When we meet in Chambers, we'll definitely. Definitely.
But
so yes,
it's time for part 2, Nigel. Part 2 is also very interesting. I mean, the Delices Reunion discussion is interesting, but part 2 is also very interesting. In not so much time, of course, that we have, but we're going to really put things in perspective, because this too is a very, very interesting discussion. We are going to explore a topic that deserves a lot of time, yes, but we have a professional as our guest, and she will walk us through the topic and give us takeaways and whet our appetite for part 2, I know, because this is a very important discussion, as I said. So we have Madame Magistrate Gloria Septra Augustus, and it's a pleasure to have her on, Nigel. So bring her on. Just your people.
Yes. Good morning. Welcome again to Connecting the Dots. I'm not seeing her yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll see her in a few. But it's nice to have you again to reconnect with us and to share with us what's going on and what's happening with this important thing. So, good morning, Septra.
Yes, you're looking really lovely. Okay, I love the top. Right. I love the headpiece.
You know,
she does always try to, one thing she does try to make sure she represents.
Yes,
artist, man. That's artist. Yes. And let me tell you all, I'm from Delices, you know. My grandmother from Delices. Yes. La Roche, Victoria. My grandmother had 14 children, so you know, I have plenty of people in Delices. So I might go to the reunion and see maybe if there's some people that I didn't know. Yeah.
You might find a long lost family member.
Right.
Your grandmother.
So you never know.
Yeah, 14 or 16, one of them. But I think it's 14, right?
But that's a lot.
So when they have plenty like that and the others make plenty like that, so you know I have family.
Yes.
Right. La Roche, Victoria, Delices. Yeah.
Wow. So that's like my father, man. My father had 30 something. Anyway, that's
right. Good morning, everybody. Morning.
Yes, morning. It's really a pleasure to have you on.
Let me apologize on behalf of the other guest. She could not make it, but I will hold the fort. And we only have 1 hour, and we need like 6 hours. So
I know. As I said, we're just going to wet, you know, the appetite of our family, and then we'll go in details on the program. But there's something happening apart from this. There's some very topic. There's something that you two are doing. So until just tie it in.
Right.
But it calls for a 2-hour discussion on connecting the dots and in terms of co-parenting. And so we want to look at that at another time. But Gloria Septra Augustus, it's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you very much. Let me just introduce the Social Services Division. People that say welfare. Okay? So the same thing, welfare, but the Social Services Division, last year sometime they launched a co-parenting initiative, and out of that they're hoping to have different aspects. And co-parenting, what's that? Sometimes we hear about single parents, but we know co-parenting really is a family structure, and sometimes parents are apart. That's why I put together part two hearts, one home. In fact, we haven't decided what we're going to call this aspect because there are so many ways to describe it. But co-parenting is a family structure, and that happens sometimes. We may need to co-parent because two people have a child. The child may come through different ways. One night, we plan for it, we are married, however it came. But the fact is, when this bundle of joy is born, or bundles of joy, then there are parents because the DNA is from two people. So sometimes they stay together and sometimes they go apart. So we may have people going apart due to separation, due to divorce, due to migration, or some other social factors. One probably fell off the cracks and probably is not able. So there are all kind of different ways in which people can separate. But wherever they are, we would like that the children of that union be stable, be emotionally secure, and that they get the guidance and that they get all what that they should get from the parents. And sometimes that is difficult because you have sometimes people are, for a better word, fighting over the child, or in terms of how much access one should have to the child. And the poor little child in the center sometimes wants access to both people, which is normal, but sometimes the adults, the parties, they fight against that. Some parties are able to come together and allow that to happen in different ways. And this is what we are going to be promoting because we really know the benefits of that, where you have where you have parents, coming together so that for the benefit of their child. Because whenever there's conflict, what you have is divided loyalties, you have emotional distress of the child, you have behavioral challenges, academic difficulties, and that filters into the community. Because as you know, I work in the court, I have been dealing with family law from 2004. So I have seen a lot of things, heard a lot of things, and for some of them, it has to do with the family structure. Either there's fatherlessness, or there are people fighting over the child, or all sorts of things, because relationships are very complicated. And what we're trying to do is to promote co-parenting, because once there is conflict, it reaches in the court, it goes to the social services, and in the meantime, the child or children are being affected. So this is what they are hoping to promote. And besides just putting a poster and say, come together, two families, one of the things that they've asked me to do is to write a play. As you know, I write, and they've asked me to write a play on co-parenting. It's 98% done. You just have to get the theme song and other things and look for the money to do it, because a play can't just be put on without funds. So we had to look for the money to do it. So one of the things I want to bring across to the public, there's a man who writes on Facebook. Nowadays, you're not sure if he's a real person or who, but anyhow, there's a name and there's a face. And he has an article I saw recently on co-parenting. I want to crave your indulgence to read it. And it kind of gives an idea of the situation and where co-parenting should go. This man is called Charles Gondosio. I think he's a Kenyan, based on what I see. And he writes a lot about social issues. It's very interesting. In fact, sometimes I have to tell myself, don't read another one, because it's like Netflix, some Netflix series. Because it's so interesting that every time I see one, I want to read another one. So I just stopped at this. He has something on single parent, and he has something on co-parenting. So I want to read it to you in my dramatic voice. All right. So co-parenting, modern parenting increasingly involves two adults learning how to raise children together, even after love itself has changed shape. Co-parenting is one of the strangest emotional arrangement life creates. You are no longer fully together, but you are never completely separate either. I'll pause here because I remember once a young boy told me, separate? My parents can't separate. They have me. They can't separate. So some children in their mind, you are supposed to be together. A child permanently connects two people, whether romance survive or not. And the child still needs breakfast, school fees, transport, money, homework supervision, flu medication, regardless of whether the adults are angry, healing, or pretending to be emotionally mature on social media. Children do not pause their needs because adults broke up. Good co-parenting requires maturity many people underestimate. Because the truth is this: it is easy to love a child. It is much harder to remain respectful towards the other parent when history still hurts. That is why cooperative parenting is beautiful when it works. Parents communicate calmly, coordinate routines, attend school meetings, keep stability across homes. The child feels safe instead of feeling like a confused referee trapped between two emotional politicians. But not all co-parenting is peaceful. Some people practice parallel co-parenting where communication is minimal because constant interaction creates conflict. Each parent operates independently. Each house develops its own routines. And surprisingly, this can sometimes be healthier than exposing children to endless fights and bitterness. Because children would rather experience two peaceful homes than one permanent battlefield. Unfortunately, some co-parents turn children into messengers. Tell your father this, tell your mother that. Suddenly a child becomes a small unpaid diplomat, handling emotional tension they are too young to process. And children suffer most when adults forget one important truth. The relationship ended. Parenthood did not. Social media now has complicated things too. Some adults post inspirational quotes about family while privately communicating like rival politicians during a constitutional crisis. Meanwhile, the child simply wants peace, snacks, and emotional stability. And perhaps one of the hardest parts of co-parenting is swallowing pride for the sake of someone who still believes bedtime is oppression and vegetables are punishment. That takes maturity, especially when new partners and step-parents enter the picture. But some step-parents become extraordinary blessings. Some men raise children who do not share their blood, but share their entire daily life. Some women love children they did not biologically give birth to, yet protect them fiercely. That deserves respect. Because biology may create life, but consistency builds family. Children remember who showed up, who attended graduations, who explained homework, who sat beside hospital beds, who kept promises. And eventually, many successful co-parents discover something important. The goal is not to defeat the other parent. The goal is to raise a healthy human being who does not grow up emotionally exhausted from adult conflict. Children do not need perfect parents or perfect adults. They need responsible ones. They need consistency, safety, presence. And for some people, not presents. Give them this, give them that. Presence, be there. Love without manipulation. And despite the awkwardness, resentment, and emotional history, many co-parents continue trying every day to build stable childhoods out of complicated adult realities. Not because it is easy, but because love for a child sometimes teaches people how to cooperate long after romance failed. So you see why I like the man writings?
No, it encapsulates what co-parenting is.
Right. And it sort of, in the short time we have, it sort of gives an idea. So this is the kind of message that we're going to be giving through the play. We're going to, in the play, I can see for now that it shows from the point of view of the child, how the child feels. It shows the conflict between the parents. It shows it shows how society feels. Because what we want people to do is when they sit there and look at that play, is like, is that me? Am I doing that?
Yeah.
Or do I know somebody? Or what they're saying there is true, Maybe I should try that. Because, we know all will not work, but there's much more that can work that is not working. I see it in the courts, we see it all the time, and what we want to do for society, for the children, for emotional stability, is to promote that. So we could put a poster, put a jingle, but no, they're saying that they'll do other things. Besides that, they're going to have parenting classes. Also, presently, the director is in In fact, she's coming back today in St. Vincent. And in St. Vincent, they're also promoting co-parenting. And they have a manual, a handbook. So rather than reinvent the wheel, she has gotten a copy of that. And we're going to tweak it and see how you can use it in Dominica. Because sometimes, as they say, parenting doesn't come with a manual.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people need to be given a little hold hand there, a little talk there, and so on.
Yes,
because in the
definitely.
end, it is for the children.
Yes, because they are best practices for
Right,
success
right,
in co-parenting. But that's very interesting. That's a broad topic, Nigel.
Yeah.
But
It is. And just quickly though, they said they were not seeing Gloria, so
you know, see now. Yes. Okay.
just
My
fit her
bad,
in there.
my bad.
No worries
She
with
was
that.
on there.
And someone also mentioned, Gloria, that they wanted you to repeat the writer of the article. I think they said it was
Charles Gondosio. Gondosio.
Charles Gondosio.
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 Okay, all right. So,
yeah. He has
all right, so
some interesting things.
Shammer, hope you got that.
He has one on retirement. He has one old age. It's really, really interesting.
Yes, but Gloria, you have seen a lot at the courts, obviously.
Hey, say what you way.
What can you tell us, of course, from your experience and what you have seen from what the court has to decide upon? What can you tell us are the most effective ways to help children transition smoothly between two different households? How does that work? We know there's no manual ready, but obviously we have guides. What can you tell us in that
some
aspect?
people recognize the need and they work with it and they try to see that it happens. Some, they're late in recognizing and they hold enough for whatever reason. So for these people, they need either good friends or family or other people who recognize the importance of that to guide them, maybe tell them, or even the court, right? And for some people, the social services also, because when problems arise, who go and pick up the child or take the child, doesn't bring the child back and so on, police station, they end up social services. Social services sometimes has to speak to them and have meetings with them so that they can recognize that it is good for the children. In fact, we have in 2023, a suite of new family laws were put into place, and one of them is the Status of Children Act. This, we never had it before. And this one gives men much more, legal rights in terms of their children. Also attached to that, we have, it allows us now to do DNA testing or to order DNA testing. Before, I did it because I knew that was the right thing, and we sort of sought the cooperation of parents. Right now, it is there. It's part of the whole package. Yes, we can probably get to the point where it might probably be cheaper or organized for the states or some of the other things. But for now, it's working in that once the people agree, we send a letter through the courts, and then they do the DNA and come back. Because a lot of people sometimes, their reaction to children is much better if they know 100%, especially if they have doubts that the child is mine. And I like that because the thing about it that once I don't think the child is theirs, today when in a good mood is my child. Tomorrow when you're not in a good mood, the child getting some other thing that is not good for them, right? Or even the child feels so, or people tell the child that. So this in itself is good, and to me, the earlier it's done, the better. When you wait to do it when the child is big, it can cause a little problem. Because there's something I saw that will forever remain with me. There was this young man who, I think in his teens, and at that point the father decided that he wanted a DNA. And I have never seen somebody speak from the ground up, and you could see he was hurting. Because I'm saying this for other people to take note and to try, if you want to do it, if you have doubts, do it early. Because when you do it later, it hurts. And he was speaking from his heart saying, but you told me that you and my mother planned me. You told me that. We had a very good thing going. He started to name parts of his body that looked like his father.
Wow.
He started to say that he probably was being a good child just so that he doesn't get his father, disappoint his father. And how things were good with them. And it's only because you have that lady now that you've changed and you're asking about DNA. So that hurt him because things were going good for them. They were good. And then now. So for him, it was hurtful. And usually when the child is bigger, they'll ask questions. You can't just bring me and put a swab in my thing in my mouth. I will know what's that for, right? Or I would have a soup show that I would guess. And so it's better when they do it young. So the child, you bring the little child there, the child don't know nothing. Child, you put something in the child's mouth because swabs they use, and you take the child there, the child might think, oh, doctor. But when you wait when they can think or they've heard things, that in itself can cause a little problem.
Nigel, this opens up a lot,
Yeah.
Of areas
So-
we can look at.
Yeah, so I'm saying that,
Gloria is saying.
for co-parenting, some people, they give more if they know or they're sure the child is theirs, right? And even then, co-parenting, so we have to look at, there are different kinds of co-parenting. That's for another time, and that is for us to bring out when we have, because we're hoping also, I'm saying we because I'm part of the process, but the social services, we're hoping to have like a sort of a consultation, once the play is done, shown to the public, after that shown, and where we can discuss, really how best, what policies to put in place, how people can, move towards co-parenting. We know for sure everything will not work. There are some that will not work, but much more can work. And the reason why we're doing it is for the stability of the child, to help the child, because if children are emotionally stable and loved and so on, they make better citizens. Anyhow, they are hurt people. They go next side, right? And there's something that we feel can come from both parents to assist the child. And there are some men who never probably had that in their life and they want to give that to the child. I've seen that a lot where some young men, I never knew my father. So they don't want that to happen to their child. But then they get in this pushback from the mother. So it is complicated, as the gentleman said. It's complicated, we know that. But we are saying that if there's communication, if we understand, like the last line said, that it is about the child, the little love package that we made, and that if we help the goal, the relationship ended, but parenthood did not, right? It did not, okay? The goal is not to defeat the other parent. And a lot of times, sometimes when there is a step-parent, you find that the father and the stepfather or stepmother, there's a little competition. I've seen that.
Yes.
I've seen that. But as I tell them, the more people in the child's life, the better. The more love, the more, the merrier. And that is what we want to have, that conversation. Yes, we're talking about what's going on, what's this, what's that. But this is important. Because when we're looking for answers as to why there's violence, why there's domestic violence, why there's this, why there's that, hence herein lies the problem. Sometimes it starts from the family structure. It starts from what happens in the socialization process. And that is why we want to keep that conversation. Well, it is there, because when you hear about people giving people wrong children and all that, and or who has problems, it's there. But we want to do it in a healthy way. We want to do it to show the pros and cons, and we want to do it so that we can encourage, almost like a crusade. We want to get converts so that people can realize, DNA, sperm and egg, they have responsibilities. Allow them to show the love too, so that that child can be a wholesome child and can learn from both parents or in two different homes and so on. And even then, when people decide to co-parent, we also have to put boundaries. Because some people might want to co-parent, but it's like, okay, two of us have the child, but I want the child this week, next week. And no.
That's not easy.
So we have to be reasonable and also look at the child, the age and the stage. Can the child come to stay with you at that age? Or for how long? Or what do you have, how your home is, who's going to assist the child. So there are lots of things.
But there are also
that we have to look
situations
at.
where that you'd find maybe the child or the children strongly prefer one house over the other. So there's a lot of dynamics involved in this whole
sometimes
co-parenting issue.
Sometimes the one house might be a little.
Yeah.
So all these things that we have to talk about, but there will always be pros and cons, but sometimes some will outweigh the other, and that is really what the focus is, so that we can get more families to realize it's the responsibility of the both parents or the step parents are also part of it too, or the adopted parents, or which other parents or auntie who comes in as a guardian, all these aspects, because what we want is persons or people to be involved in the child's life, to show the love, to guide them, so that they can feel that they have they have somebody that they can turn to, they can go to, so that they don't have to go and look for it in the wrong places, or they don't have to hear.
But don't you think as well? I mean, Gloria, listening to you here, that as well, one of the things they probably want to explore is the partner of the parents. Meaning that sometimes the new boyfriend or the new girlfriend or the new wife or the new husband or whatever it is don't want the ex-parent to be involved in the thing, because now it's me that's there. And then you also have the family situation where you have family members who say, don't get him involved in your thing no more. And
yes.
What is those dynamics?
Well, these are the dynamics that we're hoping to discuss. So in the play, we have several situations. I've tried to put as many as possible situations that go in that direction, so that when we have the discussion, when we have the conversation, we'll look at that, because that happens. In fact, just last month, I think, in court, somebody said something, and I said, oh, let me tell you something. I'm writing a play on co-parenting, and what you just said there, I have that in my place. So not to say is because you say that. I can show it to you now. It's there already, because there are things that people say, things that people do, and sometimes the other families don't help. But what we have to try to do is peel away all those other things and see in the end it's about that little child, that will grow into an adult and pass on what they know, think, and feel to their own children. So we want to break some of the generational curses. We want to break some of those things. And we want to have children who, who feel that love. And particularly when step parents come in. But sometimes, there are examples of step parents who realize, okay, and they are quite on board. We're not saying it doesn't exist, it exists, but we want much more. There are step parents who are quite on board. And another thing, I've heard people say, if they were raised by a step parent or raised by somebody else, and they didn't have this father, they say, well, yes, I know this is my biological father, but this is my father too. Because as the thing said, they know who's there, who attended graduations, who explained homework, who sat beside hospital beds, who kept promises. All that is what the child is looking for. Bond, love, that reassurance. So we are saying that it can come from the both parents. And so, because sometimes even, I remember we used to give custody to men, because generally in our law, the mother, the single parent mother, has, things are kind of changing now in terms of status of children. But before, when we gave custody, it was because custody was in the mother. And sometimes even if the gentleman probably didn't have his own home, but he lived with his parents or his auntie, or there was some other person who would assist him with that child. When we weigh everything, we would probably put the child with him because he had that support and so on. So we're looking really to see how we can get the family structure to be more about the child than past history, than whatever else adults have in their head. I know it's hard, it's not easy, and some people might say, you're a child, but then I have seen it, I have lived it. I usually say I don't have, but I don't know why I used to say the nation children shall be my children, because it has already put the nation children on my head. So I am looking at it, without all these other things, but having been there, seen, spoken to people, and experienced it myself from people that I've been involved in and the things that I have been involved in, we really need to try as much as possible to put pride aside, to put some other things aside, and see how it can work, either through parallel co-parenting, through all the other types of co-parenting, to see how we can get all the people closely involved, particularly the biological parents, to be involved. If there's a very good reason why the person can be involved, understood. But if the person is there, can be involved, has something to give, is begging, and it's not happening, the child is losing out. You know.
How important do you see things like the other institutions, like the schools and the churches and so on? What role do you see them playing in helping in that co-parenting?
Yes, they have to sing that song. They have to be on board also. And you know, as you said, schools, you know, one of the things that happens in schools, you find that there are some children who have to be picked up from school. And some schools have this thing, put the name of who to pick up, because that's cause problems. So if you come there and you say you should not pick up, they will not send the child with you. And that has caused a lot of things by the school gate, you know. So that is the thing, because some people put the name in the school as to who should come and pick up that child. And then the father might decide, well, that's the only place I see in the child, so let me go there, and then you have a neighbor.
Yes,
you know? So schools have to be on board also, and it's in the best interest of schools to have parents who are cooperating, so they have less things to do with parents coming by the school and making labor. So schools should be on board, churches should be on board. Also, I mean, all the places in society, all the institutions in society that deals with people and community and children, because it's not bad. It's a good thing.
But there are so many factors attributed to this, because sometimes someone may have an ex who is not cooperating, that ex may be uncooperative or refuses to communicate civilly. That's a red flag. That's already a problem.
Well, that is why part of the process is where they are going to kind of want to have parenting sessions, and also, as I said, there's this co-parenting manual that's been used in St. Vincent that they're hoping to get and see how we can use it, because sometimes some people just need, you know, to hear somebody else in their head, or somebody who've been through the same thing, talking to them, and you know, or showing them the benefit, or even the child sometimes can let the parents see, well, I really need, or I want to have my relationship with my dad and so on. Because some people, they suck it in, they say nothing, and later in life they talk about it. It was affecting them all the time. Or some do not tell their parents how they feel when they're small, but when they get a little bigger and they feel, I can speak to you, they tell them. So it's something that we want to, I mean, while we try to look at what do we do about violence, what do we do about this and that, we also want to start at the bottom. This is where it starts, the family structure, the root.
Yes.
And if we can try to get people to recognize you have a responsibility once you make a child, not just about money, also about your presence being there, being felt, you know. I remember once asking somebody, a man, about, you know, access, because some people come for access to the child, asking him about, you know, when can you, or trying to encourage him, and you say he was an astronaut, far away, that couldn't meet the child. I'm like, no, make some time. You have to make some time. You are in Dominica. You're not in Maz. Because this is good. And also another thing I have encountered is, particularly where there are disabled children, a lot of them who can't move and so on, they live long, sometimes 20-something years, 40-something years. And as they get older, even if they probably don't grow too much, they get heavier. And you find that sometimes when there's a single parent who has that burden, it is difficult. I've had people come, not because they want money, but because they want the other party to come and say, I will take the child to spend a few days with me, or I will come and help to lift or bathe or whatever it is. Because once you have a child in this situation, it sort of restricts what you can do your whole life, because they need 24/7 care, you know? And even from that point of view. So we wanted for all children co-parenting, where the both people have that part to play in the child's life, and not just about giving the money, but also about spending time going out. You don't have to wait for Disneyland. Look, now it's even more difficult to get the visa and so on. Take them down. I mean, although we say sometimes we shouldn't just encourage KFC, but it's a place where you can sit. Anywhere you can go and sit. You can go and sit People's Park, by Whitchurch, where the place where they sell the ice cream. Take them for a little drive if you have a vehicle. Make sure their head not outside of the vehicle, because sometimes when parents, fathers or mothers take children out, you see children head outside and so on. Make sure they are safe. Only in Dominica I see that. Other places you can't have no child under a certain age if you don't have a car seat. Dominica, their head outside, their hand outside, or they are the front, we need
We don't
to
have those
take
laws,
that.
right? That you have to have caskets. Those laws don't exist
No,
in Dominica,
no,
right?
it doesn't exist. But
Okay.
but then I think we
It
need
should.
to
It should.
talk. We
But
need
I'm
to
just
talk
saying,
to
right?
parents.
With
I've seen a lot of people not taking notice of the child at the back or at the front, or even having the child in front of you. It's not safe. In fact, yesterday I saw a young lady on a I don't know, motorbike, electric bike, whatever bike, and the little head I saw in front of her. Some have them at the back, holding tight. That is not safe. I guess God helping and preserving still, but that's true.
That's
So
interesting.
and that's the other thing. And sometimes some people are against co-parenting because they say oh, but he this or she this or that. Sometimes I say, but you're all together. You know the person. Maybe through communication you can probably say what you like, what you don't like. You can probably decide. But that's the problem. Sorry, they don't communicate. Sometimes they don't know where the other parent
communication
is. So
Yeah.
in all of this, while we're discussing that, we'll be looking at all the other challenges,
and there are many.
right?
Yeah.
And see how we can get people to recognize, yes, there are challenges, but if we communicate in the name of what we produce, or we try to, or we fake it good, because when you have to fake it,
Yes,
we might be able to help that child there, right?
Yeah. But you also find situations as well, Gloria, because you find what might have caused the separation. So maybe maybe the man gets another woman gets another man, whatever.
Yes.
And so you want the child to hit in quotes there, hit them.
These are
So
broad topics.
you try not to encourage that co-parenting because you don't want, because of what they do to you and all that kind of
Yes.
story. So all that comes into it.
That's what he said. It is much harder to remain respectful towards the other parent when history hurts.
And history hurts.
Yeah,
that's it,
history
that's
hurts.
it,
The what happened before, you have that in your head. And some people, in my experience, a lot of times it has to do with, he has this other lady, but I don't want my child to be
Yes.
in the other person's presence or whatever it is. Some may be justified. But then we have to look at it.
There are so many
or
factors
do you
that
have
come into
enough
play there.
information
Yes.
to say what you say?
Yes, that is it. That is it.
And
So many
can somebody
things.
talk to that other person to tell them, hey, if you love the person, as they say, love me, love my dog. So it's really, we want to open the conversation because we want people to explore what is preventing us from doing that. And so that's why I say it's like a crusade, so that we get converts in the end that say, hey,
there are so many issues.
let us see how we can work that out.
Yeah, I was saying there are so many issues. I was speaking to someone just recently, and whilst I will not give any example relating to her situation, maybe I could ask how do you prevent children from being put in the middle of adult disputes or being used to spy on maybe the other parent? I don't know if you get my
that
drift.
has to do with the parents themselves. Sometimes I think out of frustration and maybe how small, when you're talking to their friends on the phone or whoever it is, the child hearing that and know, and then the child takes sides, right? Sometimes they do it in the child's presence. That's why sometimes when people meet me in town and they want to talk to me and they have the child and tell me about, I say, no, one of the child is there. We'll talk another time. Because these little children, they look like they don't
absorb.
understand.
They are very smart,
They absorb. I have a good example of that. There was this child that I used to have, and her parents had died in the plane crash. And people ask me what the child is, if your child thinks your child and you're talking. And when she began to speak, she told her grandmother things. I'm like, what? The child was absorbing all the time. Right? So they absorb, they have it there. So we have to try to not have things in their presence. Also, the thing about it is sometimes the houses are so small, the children will hear what's happening or see what's happening. And also the parents have to see how they can probably decide where they pick their battles. The whole thing is not in the child's presence or show them, because as they say, body language, the child might be able to tell. Even if you don't speak, because body language speaks also. So it's really hard, But if you really want to assist the child, you don't do that. Even in the court, sometimes I tell them that, please, when the child comes by you, do not interview the child about the other parent. Right? Do not interview. But some children, you don't have to. They don't have to wait for interview. They'll just tell you, or they will say what they see or hear. But maybe what you can do is don't encourage it. That's the other thing. Don't encourage it. But it's kind of difficult. But it can be worked on. It can be remedied. But it takes people who are mature, people who see the end result as, hey, we're doing that for our child, and that behavior will affect the child. If they're not, if what they want to achieve is greater for their own ego, or they feel that this is how they get back, it's difficult. But if they can, pause that and see the child in the middle, or the man in the middle, as they say sometimes, or the child in the middle, or the young child in the middle, and work towards that. But then the other thing is that some people give what they have. And if they did not grow up that way, it might be difficult for them, and they might need some little class here or there, or somebody to talk to them, or some counseling or therapy, or something else, or some good friend who recognizes the damage to maybe speak to them. And sometimes they have people who back them in doing things that are wrong. So it's really complicated.
Yeah, it's a complicated issue.
Yes,
it
but
is.
So
It's
that is
complicated.
why we're trying to explore all the things, put it out there, and say, yes, we know it have bad. Yes, we know it have this. But there are some good things that we can pick. And let's try to see how we can pick the good things if we have the goal as not defeating the other parent. If we have the goal as this child that we have made together, let us see how we can help this child. Not
There's
because it's easy.
there's like three, I guess, questions here that someone's been asking, and I guess they really want us to ask you. So the first one is, by the way, Ambrose Thomas, good morning to you. Says, are we talking implementation, or are we still in the drawing stages of this co-parenting? And then he also mentions, so you can just kind of note if you can remember them. Second one he has is marriage in Dominica is far and few in between, kind of. That's what he says. So does this program include outside children? I'm not sure if we use that no more, but outside children. And then Sonia Williams has a very important question there. Hey, good morning to you, Sonia. Two young people are in a relationship. The young lady finds out she's pregnant. The young man goes through everything with the pregnancy, even the birth. Next thing you know, the young woman goes and registers the child on the real father's name. What recourse is there for the young man? So these are your three questions. I guess the last one was to Magistrate Augustus, and the first two was to Playwright Social Services Gloria.
You have many caps.
Oh God. Okay, the program was launched in last year, I think October or November, and they have started having parenting classes and so on, and they're hoping to continue and move on to other things. So they are in fact implementing, and the play is part of the whole thing. So the play is written, and we have to put on the play. And also we have to use aspects of the play in a national consultation so that we can really have people come and give their views and so on. And even from that, when they're in that environment, it will cause them to think, because what we're trying to do is to have that conversation so that people can think about it. If they don't want to think about it in the forum, when they're home on their bed or they're somewhere or whatever, some things might come back to them. So yes, it's in the implementation stage, and we're hoping that we can bring it up a notch through funding for the play. That's not there as yet, and for the other things, but hopefully that should happen. The other one is, oh God, look, I forgot already.
Yeah, the outside children, because sometimes if you don't have married, it's not to married. Kids are not to the marriage. And
under the Status of Children Act, outside has been thrown outside.
Right.
There is no longer illegitimate, legitimate, bastard, and whatever it is. And as I tell people, this sperm had to come out for it to go inside somewhere. So all of it come from outside, go inside to make the child. There's no longer outside. To buy inside. Okay? So there's no longer outside, and a lot of married people have difficulty with that. Whenever we have, because I've been to consultations and things we have on changing laws and reforming laws, and once you bring all that up, some people feel that because my child was born within marriage, she has more rights than the other child. Safini, that's not there. Every child has the same equal rights and justice. Okay? So
Nice.
it might be difficult culturally, we grow up like that. Try and erase it from your head. Try and see the child as a child, a whole child, the child of the people. Okay? That is what it is. No longer outside, inside, everybody.
All right. So I hope that helps you, Ambrose. And then, of course, Sonia
The other
Williams.
one
you-
with Miss Williams.
Yes,
DBS
Miss
Radio
Williams.
Studio is not a court. So I can't go on the court pronouncements there, right? Boy, I prefer not to answer that.
Okay. So Sonia, she'll answer
it's
you.
not a
She'll
simple
answer you when
answer.
she see you.
Yeah, we can talk to me. It's not a
Okay.
simple answer, and it's not a simple answer.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Because
Sonia,
we've had
she will-
situations like
when-
that. We've had situations like that, even in the court. Like sometimes when the people do the DNA testing, I've had where some of them have stuck with me. There's one that stuck with me, where the child who, like some people have a favorite child. Maybe there were several children, but the favorite one, the grandmother like him, this, that. This was the one that wasn't the man's child. And the man cried because he's checking, how am I going to tell my mother that? Right? When they did the test. And usually when the test comes out and it's negative, if the person has had a relationship with the child, I usually try to tell them, you've gotten the results, but because you have that bond with the child already, try not to, if you want to, pull away right away. Do it gradually. Because if you do that, then you're going to affect that child that you've shown love to and you think and accept it like yours. And most people, the majority, tell me, nah man, I'll still check the child. Because they've had that relationship, that bond. Most people. I think only one man maybe told me no. In all the years I was there. Majority said, nah man, I'm glad I know, but I'll still check the child. Right? And as they say, there are some people in Dominica, they'll say, super papa, you say, pay you, and those kind of things there. I mean, we're not encouraging that. But then the thing is that if you have had that relationship with the child knows you. Because, as we said, the child knows who has been there. There are a lot of people who, they have a biological father. I've heard your manager say that. The gentleman who raised him, he talks about him highly. Right? Because this is the person who was there. Right? And the children remember that. They remember, that's why we say bonding is important. So it's difficult. It's a hard pill to swallow. And some people, if they spent money, then there's this whole big thing, who give my money back and so on. But this is another kind of worms, a big thing. Sometimes maybe just what you have to relegate it to is that, all right, I've showed the love to the child. And sometimes these are the children that you see later in life. I've had people who it's not their biological. I remember a girl saying, how the man used to curse up her mother and whatever and so on. That had to do with father. But in the end, because it was her father, she came to help him. But sometimes these are the children you see later when you really need somebody. So it's not easy. But see it in terms of the relationship. Pray. And maybe see how sometimes the other party might want to reimburse you or whatever it is. And another thing could be, it could be a blessing in disguise. The fact that you're out that early means that for years you would not be paying money for a child that is not yours. You're out early. It's like you go into and play lotto, or you there's a scam and you come out early so you lose less. You can try and see it in ways like that, because sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you go the legal way, and it's going court dates and money and more animosity. So it's really not yes, no. There's several ways, but a lot of it has to do with the people who are involved, their level of maturity, who they have in their corner, who giving them things, who in their ears. It's a whole complicated thing.
It is. And I think, as I would have mentioned earlier too, I mean, there's so much within this particular topic that we definitely have to have. You have to have you on again.
When the play is close by and so many other sponsors and so on,
Yeah, because someone was mentioning too very quickly, Gloria, that this topic is very
Yeah, I was just
sensitive. Oh, by the way, Cheryl, good morning to you. Cheryl Rowe, appreciate you as always. Good morning. Thanks for connecting. She said you have to go inside to have the child, so you cannot be an outside child. I'm not sure what that means, but I guess I figure what it means.
Yeah, I think you were reading
But
the comments of Ashanti Alexander Deloney.
yes,
Nigel, go
Ashanti
ahead.
Alexander. Oh, yes, that's a nice one from Ashanti Alexander Deloney as well. Saying here the topic is sensitive. A lot of children go through on the step parents. Fathers, mothers neglect their children for the sake of their spouse, forgetting that children are not flower pots. They grow. And also says we need another Saturday on this topic. Because there's really so much to uncover and so many dynamics. And
And
co-parenting, I guess, might be something new to us too, in a sense.
No, we have been doing it, but it's just that we need to encourage more of it because we're seeing a lot of problems now.
Yeah, it should.
You know,
go,
we're seeing
you have to get with-
they frequently have to have interventions, and the interventions are unresolved conflicts between parents, and this negatively affects the children's well-being. You know, so we're hoping they have traditional sessions, workshops, the play. You know, we are attacking at all fronts. Because if you just put a poster, well, that says to me nothing. But you know, like sometimes when you're looking at, because when you have, as you know, Nigel, when you have drama, the person who's sitting there, if it's done properly, they are no longer outside, they're in what is happening. That's why people cry when they watch movies. So when you have something done properly, and you have these messages and these things and these situations before you, this brings you to another level in your mind to think, to appreciate, to take sides, to and that is what we want. So when we bring out this whole co-parenting play, to have people think, is that me? Think, do I know somebody like that? Think, oh boy, that is what I was doing to my child. Oh, can I do better? Is that available to me? You know, we want people to really ruminate and think about the whole thing, and in the end remember, if they remember nothing else, that what we need is a love without manipulation, and we need that child, you know, and we need to cooperate for that child after romance or one night stand or whatever it is has failed.
A lot of people are hurting. A lot of children, in particular,
they are hurting. Sometimes they don't say it or don't reflect it right away. Sometimes they show it in different ways. And if we have to look at society's problems, we have to look at that structure, the family structure. And that is why it's very important. And it's for everybody. That's everybody's business. That is not for until people. So we're hoping that when we ask for sponsorship, that people, that the because the government probably might not have enough money to give in terms of that, we're hoping that social services, once they get the green light from the government, you know, they're able to write and ask, can you help to sponsor so that we can do this? And we're using young people, you know, because we also want to give the perspective from the child, right? In fact, I love this thing so much that I wish we had done it already. And I was even telling her, boy, you think I should give that to all you know, boy? Let me just stick my finger and look for sponsors and do that, because it's like I am dying to bring that out there. Even the people I've given it to read, you know, it's like, okay, because we really want to start that conversation. We really want people to take that in, because our society, our socialization, all this determines the kind of society that we have, that we live in. And plenty, sometimes when I used to hear children's stories, well, no, I don't want to say that because they might hear, and no, that's something I was going to say, but I don't want them to hear and think they have an excuse, so I'll leave that out, because I'm still a magistrate. I'm still working.
But there are many stories.
But there are many stories, and you feel it. So that is why I can speak that way, because I have been in the position where I've heard from 2004 to 2026, you know, stories I've heard. And people I've interacted with, and people who have spoken to me, and things I've experienced. So it's really, I know you might say I don't have children, but I have dealt with the situations. I have come into the situations. And I mean, just last week, I had one that drained me, literally drained me. And I'm hoping that it works out, because we've been trying on that train to fix up a situation. You know? literally doing some of these things really. Yes, they say you are the magistrate, but then remember you are a human. You think, you feel. And some of these things can really get to you. And that is why after 10 years, I think at 13 years, I took a break and I went to St. Lucia. Because they say when you deal in these matters, you have to take a break at some point. Because it might send you out there.
Anytime you're counseling people or listening to stories like this kind of has a huge effect on your mental health.
I had some time ago they had paid for me to do the basic counseling course on of the from the ministry, because some people when they come there they expect you to be counselor, Prince of Peace, everything, you know. So therefore I needed to know a little thing, and I had done that. I've also done mediation. I've also done restorative justice, where in terms of those who commit offenses and who they affect and how you bring them together. So all these things, for all these workshops and trainings and being in it, so have given me the mind. So people sometimes say, oh, they're encouraging or you don't know and that kind of thing. But I have seen the good, the bad side and all sides. So without having for my own, without the rose glasses, I'm able to say, okay, I understand this, but can we do X, Y, and Z? Or can you? Because in the end, it's the best interest of the child.
Definitely.
We always have best interest. You can take 9 months, 10 months to make child. If we have to remove that child from you, we will do it.
But this is something we
it's
definitely...
best interest of the child.
This is something you have to put on the front burner. This is something that we have to talk about more because it shapes society too. Well,
we have to talk about that.
When children are going through these things and and some children, my goodness, just for instance, two people come together, they have a child, they have a good relationship, and then something go wrong, and then that child suffers because the parents are divided. And then that child hear a lot of things, because sometimes people say so many things, and sometimes not just the parents who say things, people who know about the situation, or they think they know sometimes, and you hear so many things, and children, oh, your father don't want you, and you're a bastard child, and so many things, and it hurts the children.
Some children have been abandoned.
Of course, somebody else gave me an example of so many things that she had gone through and people were saying. And then there was this particular lady was saying so much because this particular lady was in love with her father. And so that lady was her stepmother somewhat. And then, but that lady did not like her. That's what she was saying. And then years after she went to school, she graduated, she became a nurse. And then what did she have to nurse? So sometimes you have to be so careful in life. Yes, of course. That's it. So but as I said, this is something we have to explore.
We definitely so. Someone also mentioned here that a very sensitive topic. Jules, good morning to you. When you were adopted by your father's family, you're treated like an outcast because of your mother. So I guess adoption as well is something that we have to look for the co-parenting. Because
some work, some don't work. And there are lots of children in Dominica who have been so abandoned by their parent. Sometimes when I ask the question, like, who's your father or where's your father, and I'm like, I don't know him or I've never known him. Wow. I sort of even feel bad that I ask the question. There's some people who don't know that other person.
And then children end up having children with their family, with their cousins, or maybe with their sister, their brother. It's just crazy.
There are mothers who left children, fathers who left children. I mean, we're dealing with these cases as I speak. They have been abandoned. And then they're left at the mercy of family, friends, or somebody else, and so on aunt. All this, we have to talk about that because this shapes a child.
Yeah, and I know we're kind of running out of time, but this person's been asking for a little bit, though, in terms of, and again, they're asking for, I guess, the magistrate Augustus this time. What's the legal age now as a child in Dominica? And then they also wanted to know, someone else wants to know, what age do you think you should tell a child that they were adopted? So what's the legal age as it relates to children?
Okay, when we did the new suite of laws, child has now been up to 18. So under the new law, child is up to 18 years. And in terms of the age at which you should tell a child about adoption, that has to do with a lot of things. The maturity of the child at the time, because some children grow or think faster than others, the situation, also who should tell, when, where. It's something that there's no equation or age at which. But generally you find that sometimes if you don't tell them, sometimes they hear. That's the thing.
They hear.
Sometimes you may even have to tell them before you intend to, because somebody told them something.
And especially now with
Right.
social media.
Right,
It's
that's the other
different from
thing.
way
So
back.
it's not cut and dry at that age.
Right.
Lots of factors have to be taken into
Yeah.
consideration. And maybe what he was
Man,
going to do is read up on that.
Magistrate Augustus have to come for separate.
But of
right?
course,
Because
Nigel.
magistrate
I tell
questions
you,
I get enough.
I brought her
Because
on
they want to
primarily
know.
because of
They
the
want to
play.
know do adopted children have the same rights as the biological children now in Dominica? There's so many questions now from
Yes.
Magistrate Augustus.
Yes. You, adopted is the child. That's it. End of story. Full stop. That's why people have to understand.
That's it. You're done.
When they're giving up the children for adoption, that you have given up everything. Yes, they have the same rights.
Okay.
Yes, they have the same rights. Same thing like, as I was saying, there's no inside and outside child. Everybody, all children, equal. And we are thinking about the best interest of the child.
But then we also have to say that there are situations that are very good examples of what it
Yes.
should be.
Yes,
In terms
there
of
are.
co-parenting.
There are
You know, we are
situations.
looking at the downside, but there
Yes,
are lots
there are
of
situations. Yeah,
Oh,
there
yes,
are.
yes.
They are. And that is why we want to start the conversation, so people can come and testify and, and talk about what has worked for them. In fact, a St. Lucian colleague of mine, when I was doing the play, we were discussing it. And she was saying that her mother, her sister was telling her something about her other sister who wasn't born within the marriage, born with from another mother, and how her mother was treated, and the sister was almost feeling like jealous, that her mother had embraced the other child of her husband that way. It even causes that, because that mother, for her, it was like, okay, my child too, my husband's child. And you have the other siblings feeling like, oh, mommy favoring her. Yeah. And in fact, I remember a friend of mine asked me to drop something for her mother. And when I dropped the thing for her mother telling me, she showed me a sign. A fellow was there. His child, whatever. So, according to Dominica, outside child. So I told the lady that, she told me, but why she saying that now? But is he that there with her? All of us overseas. He that there with her, so why she trying to do that? But when I came there, she tried to tell me it's the man's outside child.
Yeah, we have run out of time, but there are a lot of dynamics involved in this, Nigel. Definitely we have to explore this topic again. And just a pity we did not have this lady from the social services department.
Yeah, she would have been
Yes.
given what they're doing and what they've done so far.
Definitely would want
I
to
gave a
get
little
that.
but they are in the middle of it, because when they bring them by police station or when they're making noise and so on, it ends up coming to them so that they can bring them to the court or they can, resolve the matter. So they are in that and they're seeing it and they've seen other things it causes, because even when we have to do a report for any young person who commit an offense, they go back into all these areas, the family structure and so on, and that is where you see things are bad there.
Yes.
And maybe that's why things have rotted and been bad on that side, So that is it's like the core, and it's something good, and we hope that people can come up and say we will help to sponsor the play, the consultation, so that we can have it sooner than later, so that we can really start to pump up that conversation for the benefit of our society.
And there are people who go through it and they tell you that, and they will say in certain situations, oh, my child is not going through this because I went through it. But there are people who will say that I went through it, so my child will survive and my child can go through it.
Yes, I've heard that.
And that's not good.
Yes,
I've
heard that. That
is so not good. But there's so much we have to discuss on this, Nigel. As I said, we can have a roundtable discussion. We can have Gloria and other people, Magistrate Augustus and other people.
That's why we're going to have the consultation too. We want to have that.
Good. That's
but even on radio, we can reach other people, more people. This is something too that we probably need to discuss. We have to keep that going, because we always have society. We want people to make more children, but we want people to make more children who are stable and emotionally stable, not just make more sick, we have more problems. So. Yes.
But it was a pleasure having you on, Nigel.
Same
I really
here.
enjoyed
Thanks
it.
very much. Thanks very much.
I really enjoyed it. I
Yes,
like this on the
appreciate the
teaching that you have
connection.
as well.
Appreciate you joining us this Saturday for connecting.
Yeah. My heart is in it, and I hope when we come to other people to assist, and even those for actors and actresses, because we're having a little difficulty getting sometimes males. So I'm putting that out. In fact, we have a play coming up. Let me just say that. And we're looking for males. So anybody who's interested in acting, let's say you're between the age of 19 to 45, something like that, based on the play that we have coming up soon, or 40 or even 50, and you see me, give me your name and number so that soon we're going to have an audition.
Nigel, but yes, we'll do it again next week.
Yes.
Nigel,
I know you're working on the I know you're working on the Arc House of Culture, so I wish you guys all the best.
We had
on that.
a meeting. We had a meeting yesterday with the Prime Minister.
Beautiful.
And we're hoping that we can see some light. Not at the end of the tunnel,
but somewhere
at the beginning of the tunnel.
At the beginning, in the middle, somewhere.
Or in the middle of the tunnel.
Yes.
We can see some lights. We're hoping. So, but we had a very cordial meeting yesterday with the Prime Minister.
Right.
And for those of you this afternoon looking for somewhere to go, there's jazz and poetry of Eo Libla happening at the Dominica China Friendship Auditorium this evening at 7 p.m.
Yes, all right. Okay. So that's a big thing. I should have signed up, to do some poetry, but I was too busy.
You should have. It's not too late.
About that, Nigel, I hope you're looking at my work.
But there's poetry, at the
It's not too late. You can just walk through.
Nigel, I was saying I sent you some work. I hope you're looking at it. If a view to
I have actually been looking at it.
All right,
I'm putting together some little.
Yes, Gloria.
There's poetry at the Realm and the Fordham Festa.
Yeah.
So check just check the cultural division flyer.
But
they have 2 more weeks. They had one, so you can do your poetry there.
All right.
Too also.
Hey, Nigel, by the way, last week we were doing the program, and I was listening to my fellow chair shaking, so I stood up.
Very well.
And I'm looking at the chair. I see the chick. Anyway, I sat back down and I felt the chick again. Now, there's only when I went home last week Saturday, and I'm looking at Facebook, I realized that there was a tremor. I said, because I'm sitting connecting the dots. So I went back now to look at the video to see at what point I stood up.
To see what point.
I'm afraid that, so don't talk about that.
Yes, anyway, that's another story. But very, very interesting discussion, Magistrate Gloria, Septra, Augustus. I'm happy that you came. We'll have you on again. We have to put a team together for us to discuss this very topic.
No problem, because, this is something, I know if it helps, it makes the magistrates work easier. It makes the society better.
Yes,
and it's better for us, better for everybody. This is where we have to do it, because 20 people are hurting, 20 people have things still, and it comes out in ways that we do not want.
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So Nigel, we'll do it again next week. God willing.
Yes, my dear. We connect again next week as always.
We'll connect.
Okay.
Yes. All right then.
All right then.
Okay. Let's see what happens now. Let me ensure that we make connection with the next program. What is happening? Okay, yeah. Nigel, something is wrong with me there. What?
Okay. Mr. God Lantern.
What a wonderful world.